Good morning. My name is Rupa Nampally, Realtor with Remax One. In today's episode, we will look into the reasons why there is a low inventory of homes and will the skyrocketing of the home prices will decrease. Hope you will watch the full episode to get your answers. Home prices increased 1.5% nationally from July to August, the largest month-to-month increase reported in Federal Housing Finance Agency's House Pricing Index since 1991. Prices were up 8% annually in August. According to Dr. Lynn Fisher, Federal Housing Financing Agency's Deputy Director of Division of Research and Statistics, this large month-over-month gain contributes to an already strong increase in prices over the summer. These price gains can be attributed to the historically low interest rate environment, rebounding housing demand, and continued supply constraints. Sales of new single-family homes hit an adjusted annual rate of 959K units during the month of September, according to the data, a 3.5% increase from the month prior. According to Odeta Krushi, the deputy first economist at First American said, home buying demand remains robust due to low interest rate and continued demographic demand. Demand is spilling over from the existing home market where homes are even harder to find. The median sales price in September was $326,800, while the average sales price was reported at $405,400. Supply continues to be low with only at 3.6 months supply at the current sales pace at the end of the month. Can Zillow explain why there is so few homes for sale? Back in March 2020, when COVID hit, home buyers sidelined by years of low inventories and out-of-reach prices took to the internet with common question: is now a good time to buy? These home buyers were recalling the Great Recession when criminally lax lending practices fueled by Wall Street speculators created a housing bubble that led to the flood of foreclosed homes hitting the market. The recession lasted from December 2007 to June 2009. More than 5 months into COVID-19, it's clear that the current recession is nothing like the last one. Instead of swelling inventories, there are even fewer homes for sale now than there were at this time last year. 20% fewer homes and price declines have been barely registered. Four main things have driven the shortage: a record-long expansion and low unemployment, that is with pre-COVID-19, historically low interest rates that give people more buying power, a sizable new generation of home shoppers entering the market while older generations were choosing to hang on to their homes, a sharp drop in new home constructions over the past decade. Economists at Zillow have been tracking key signals to predict what will happen to the supply of homes and the prices they are selling for. Based on those early signals, Zillow's economists predict that the home prices will decline by 1 to 2% from February highs to an expected low point in October. After that, prices are expected to return to pre-coronavirus levels before summer 2021. According to Skylar Olson, the senior principal economist at Zillow, there are signs that buyers are showing up. Mortgage purchase applications and pending home sales initially dropped off in March, but then quickly snapped back up, and online searches for homes, likely a combination of recreational browsers and serious buyers, rose 50% above previous levels. She also added that prospective buyers and many frustrated by low inventory in previous shopping season seem to think that now might be a good time to get a good deal on the rate. Meanwhile, homeowners seem to think that they might be better off waiting to sell their home until their economic picture becomes more clear. These two behaviors offset each other, which results in even fewer homes being listed for sale and helps explain why, even as COVID-19 was hitting the economy, bidding wars for homes were still occurring in some markets. How can we combat this housing inventory shortage? In order for home builders to keep pace with the number of new households formed in the US, they need to build 1 million homes every year. The building has lagged far below that pace mainly because the home building industry was decimated during the Great Recession and had only started showing signs of coming back earlier this year. The Great Recession also disrupted the retirement and downsizing plans of older generations. Their savings took a big hit, and their adult children facing underemployment, record student loan debt, and fast growing rents moved back home. With retirement on hold and more adults to the house, fewer baby boomers were putting their homes on hold for sale, further constraining the supply. The timing coincided with the emergence of new crop of buyers from the massive millennial generation who are just now hitting their peak home buying years. A home is typically considered affordable if the monthly payment, that is, mortgage, taxes, and insurance, consumes no more than 30% of a buyer's monthly income. This allows the household to handle housing payment and other debts and still have enough left over to spend and save. The low mortgage rate is a deal right now, not falling prices. This is a huge boon for buyers, added Olson. But it becomes less of a boon if the shortage of the homes for sale keeps prices growing at a faster rate. After all, the mortgage rates can't help you build a competitive down payment in the first place. And since credit is tight, buyers who plan to put down 5% might not get a loan unless they put down 10%. The home building industry appeared ready for a comeback in January when construction began to finally keep up with the formation of new households. But the sudden uncertainty around COVID-19 caused builders to pull back. Some builders began offering buyer incentives to reduce inventory on the books by offering one of the few opportunities for a deal right now. The incentives helped lower the median price of a brand new home to about $300,000, which is an affordability sweet spot for many buyers. As per Atom Data Solutions, roughly 16.7 million residential properties in the US were considered equity rich during the third quarter of 2020, meaning the combined estimated amount of loans secured by those properties was 50% or less of their estimated market value. Equity-rich properties made up about 1 in 4, 28.3% of the 58.9 million mortgaged homes in the US, up from 27.5% the previous quarter, from 26.7% the year before. Third, Theta, Chief Product Officer of Atom Data, said in a statement, homeowner equity in the third quarter added another pebble to the pile of makers, showing the U.S. housing market continues to defy the broad downturn in the economy this year. Home prices keep rising, boosting the balance sheets of the homeowners throughout most of the country. With the foundation under the housing market still shaky as the coronavirus remains a threat, we will continue to monitor closely the various metrics, including equity. But as it's been throughout the pandemic, the market is strong and homeowners remain in the position to benefit. As per Realtor.com's report, median listing price grew at 12.9% over last year, making the 12th consecutive week of double-digit growth. Although the growth rate is high, the median listing price has essentially been unchanged to $350K since early August. Usually, we see prices take a seasonal dip as the weather cools and the housing market slows. But low mortgage rates and higher than usual buyer demand are keeping price levels steady, pushing up the growth rate from last year. New listings were down 9%. Despite the setback this week, the new listings trend remains on a slowly improving course. New listings are a necessary ingredient for further home sales, so the sustained improvement here will be important for home buyers and home sales activity. Total inventory was down 38%. The total number of homes available for sale continues to shrink, but the pace of decline remained stable again this week for the fifth time in a row, following a slight improvement. Time on the market is now 13 days faster than the last year. With limited homes available for sale, those that are on the market are selling quickly, roughly 2 weeks faster than the year ago. For the last 6 weeks, We have seen the improvement in time on the market remain roughly steady. We typically see a big increase in time on the market in November. If this indicator remains steady, that points to a seasonal slowdown, but the time on the market shrinks by greater amount, that signals that unseasonably hot conditions persist. With interest rates at historical lows and low housing inventory at its lowest, real estate is helping in rebounding the economy. Almost 17 million homes in the US are considered equity rich, and the likelihood of seeing the market as the Great Recession is slim. Economists are predicting that new existing home inventories and new construction home will come into the market for the new 2021 market. Wherever the market takes us in the near future, always have a professional on your side to help you sell or purchase your prized asset, your home. If you have any questions or concerns, contact me at 732-397-9185 or email me at rupa@ruparealtor.com or visit my website at ruparealtor.com. Have a nice weekend.